Okay, so let's see if this works first time. It's always a bit uncertain with these live streams because anything can go on. So do let me know if you can actually hear me okay and if you can see the live stream. Okay, I can see some people joining. Let's give that a second. Hey man, nice to see you on here. One of my long-time channel members. So I'll give it a couple of minutes for people to join, and I do always apologize that I know it's very short notice, but I do need to get better at scheduling these streams. But yeah, we'll give it a couple of minutes, and then we'll jump into some of the updates, what's been happening on the channel, some of the announcements from Amazon, particularly with their new Amazon Fire TV Cube, which I'm sure you guys have seen, and then we'll also go through some of your questions. Actually, so let's not break the tradition. Why don't you guys leave me a quick comment and let me know exactly where in the world you are watching from. All right, so we have, hello Paul Senior, nice to see you on here. Ian is there, straight with the question, no waiting around. Evening Paul, nice to see you on here, man. And my good friend Rich. H-Town in the house. Valley Center. We have Mel from Arizona. It always is interesting to see just exactly how far the TechDoctorUK family is spread all over the world. Okay, we have Anand from Brazil, Rich from West Florida, and you guys can hear the audio okay? The audio volume is alright? I've actually recently changed my setup, so I just want to make sure you guys can see, and then we'll jump into the updates. Hello Charles. Hi Ian from Cyprus. Patricia from North Carolina. Paul from up north, Newcastle. Ben from Ireland saying audio is good. And Scooby making the requests already. So some nice chocolate cake and probably some coffee or maybe tea. Hey Dazzle, and a big shout out to my moderators. Appreciate your support. And again, I do appreciate you guys joining at such short notice. Okay, so audio is good. Texas in the house. Yep, no problem. Glenn from Wisconsin. Okay, so I don't want to keep you guys too long. I'm sure you've got better things to watch. So yes, a couple of updates. So I'm sure you guys have seen the new Amazon Fire TV Cube. And in fact, let me see if I can actually share a browser window and then you guys can hopefully see what I'm looking at. Okay, so in fact, let me see if I can bring that above the chat. Let's see if I can move that here. Okay, so that's now taken my face away. Just bear with me a second. Okay, I think I'd have to do it like that. Okay, well, if we just ignore the chat for a second, I don't want to move too many things around. In fact, if I turn this off. Okay, so that's what's actually causing. Okay, no problem. All right, so as you guys know, Amazon have announced this new all-improved Fire TV Cube. The previous Fire TV Cube came out in 2019, so we were due an upgrade. But even then, the fact that the Fire TV was a couple of years old, in terms of the fastest device, if you really want the most powerful Amazon device, the second generation Fire TV Cube was that device. That's not to say it was perfect. It had some issues, like it didn't have built-in Ethernet. It only had a micro USB port. There were also some issues with just the Wi-Fi performance. So it did have a couple of problems, but again, if you wanted the fastest Amazon device, there really was nothing better. So you can imagine just the great news. In fact, let me just move this chart out of the way. One sec, guys. Okay, so you can just imagine the amazing news, or just how happy I was when I heard about this all new third generation Fire TV Cube with its improved ports, with its Wi-Fi 6E, with its full size USB. So I mean, from the initial announcement, it just looked really, really good. But unfortunately, after I think a couple of days, we found out some of the issues that we're potentially going to have with this new device. Things like, for example, even though it's got a built-in Ethernet port, a dedicated Ethernet port, as you guys know, before we had to use an adapter to get any kind of wired connectivity. This device, if I can scroll down here, we can see has that dedicated port, but unfortunately it's only 100 megs. So very disappointing that a device, which is going to be released in 2022, they would pack that with a 100 meg Ethernet. I mean, I'm surprised they even found, a chipset for that, because the device definitely supports gigabit, but for whatever reason, Amazon decided to bundle it only with 100 meg Ethernet. Then I thought maybe with the full size USB port. Oh, some more people joining in now. Let me just say hello to my moderator, Sharon. Nice to see you on here. Then I thought perhaps with the USB port, if it's going to be USB 3, then potentially we can get a USB 3 Ethernet adapter and then easily achieve gigabit speeds. But again, guys, unfortunately, this device this port is only USB 2. So it's just really bizarre that they bothered bundling this dedicated Ethernet port, this USB port, but then crippled it by making it USB 2 and only 100 megs. So I'm not sure what they were thinking. If maybe they think most people will use Wi-Fi only, and for the USB port, if most people are just going to expand the storage, they can very easily do that. And with USB 2 speeds, the speeds should be okay for you to install your applications, move your applications. All of that should be fine with that USB 2 port. I just think personally, if you are going to have a flagship device, I mean, if we look at NVIDIA, for example, their flagship device, the NVIDIA Shield Pro, they haven't really cut any corners. So gigabit Ethernet port, we have 2 full-size USB 3 ports, obviously an amazing chipset, super fast GPU, and the works. Here on the Amazon side, if you are going to create your flagship device, then why cripple it with these limiting ports? So I did think that was a bit of a shame. Obviously, I will still purchase the device. I will be reviewing that device on my channel. So if you guys do want to see the comparison, see the benchmarks, how it compares with the 4K Fire Stick Max, or even the second generation Fire TV Cube, because it's supposed to be 20% faster. But as you guys know, with these benchmarks and these numbers, what I always care about is those real life tests. So starting applications, or doing real Wi-Fi or Ethernet tests. Let's exactly see how fast this new device is. And I mean, just talking about benchmarks, AFTV News did actually create this performance chart, and he was saying based on these stats, we can already see that the second generation Fire TV Cube was fairly close already to the NVIDIA Shield Pro. Now, if you add that 20% promise performance boost, then this will actually overtake the NVIDIA Shield. I mean, the NVIDIA Shield, obviously, it is a quite old device anyway, but the fact that this Amazon device with that promised 20% performance boost could actually be the most powerful device, obviously not for gaming, but for your streaming applications, for your general day-to-day usage, this single Amazon device could actually be, or hail as, the king of streaming devices. So very, very interested to see in real life tests how this new device performs. Chat, so let me know if you guys are planning on buying this cube, what you think about the cube, or are you happy with your other device? Let me now bring the chat back just so I can see it on the screen. All right, so lots of messages here. Let me just scroll back up. So hi Lester from Texas. Okay, so sound is good. Ron from Bromley. Okay, so Harry from Springfield. All right, so okay, so I don't have a Mac or a Mac emulator. I was actually previously using a. I always use a Windows PC as my main PC, but I did dabble with the M1 Macs for a bit. But after a while, I just didn't find it practical, so I ended up buying a Razer laptop. Hey, Streaming Wizard, nice to see you on here, man. What happened with your strike? In case you guys didn't know, Streaming Wizard recently received a strike for the Redbox application, and this just shows you that even if somebody is trying to, keep everything, straight and narrow, clearly not show any K applications or show any exotic kind of streaming APKs, just sticking with the official legal applications like Redbox, like Tubi TV, like Zuma TV, YouTube can still give you a strike. I mean, that really is very, very frustrating. And I did try and retweet and highlight it against to Team YouTube, and I'm hoping they will remove that strike. But it's just that frustration while you're waiting. If you have that strike on your channel, then you can't upload, you can't live stream, you can't even create a community post. So that waiting time is just very, very frustrating, and obviously it kills the video in the algorithm. So even after 48 hours or after 72 hours, if they come back and say, we've now restored the video, that video is pretty much gone. So it is very, very frustrating. Okay, let me get back to the chat, guys. So yeah, do feel free to ask any question you like, any of your streaming questions, your tech questions, VPN questions, RD, all that kind of stuff. I'll try and answer as many as I can. And as I always say, other people in the chat, you guys also have experience. I don't claim to be the most knowledgeable person, so if any of you guys know the answer to anybody else's questions, please do feel free to jump in. Okay, so yeah, it does seem, I'm not sure if you're trying to say it was like halfway, like a half-baked product, but that's the way I took it as well, that they made the effort, they added in that dedicated Ethernet port, they added in that full-size USB, but then why would you want to cripple that and make it just USB 2 or just 100 meg Ethernet? It really is mind-boggling. Okay, so clearly Scooby's not a fan of that device. This one I'll leave to somebody else to answer. Hey Paul from Australia, nice to see you on here. Okay, let me go back to the chat. So, hey Pete. Okay, so for this question, I've got the 4K Fire Stick Max, which does support Wi-Fi 6, so not 6E, but the previous standard Wi-Fi 6. And I actually bought a new router as you guys call it, which supports Wi-Fi 6, and I definitely noticed a big difference. So even if you buy the Cube now and you don't have Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 6E, at least you know that your device is future-proof. So if you do ever upgrade your home internet setup, your device will already support the latest standard. So I will definitely consider doing that. Yep, so I know lots of you have already pre-ordered this device. I did actually see somewhere that the second generation Fire TV Cube right now is only, I think, $60. I mean, at that price, that's an absolute steal. I mean, it's got the hexa-core processor, 2 gigs RAM, 16 gig storage. I mean, that really is a very, very high-performing device. And if you can get that for $60, that's a win-win. Yeah, so this is what I was saying, Stephen. So it really is a very, very capable device. Unless you're looking to do some high-intensity, gaming or emulation for your streaming stuff, it really is a fantastic device. Okay, so Sharon also plans on purchasing the Cube. Hey Chicago, nice to see you on here. Hey, we have the main man, Next Level Tech. Nice to see you on here, man. Yeah, this is one of the things. So people that want the best possible emulation device, on the Amazon side, previously they'll go for the second generation Fire TV Cube, and on the Android TVs, it was always NVIDIA Shield. I really do wish that there was a mid mid-tier Android TV device that we could use. I was really hoping that the Chromecast would be it, but it's just got too many issues. And now they've even announced the Chromecast HD, which I really don't understand. We need like I would say maybe about $100, that price point Android TV device, which is faster than the Chromecast. Obviously not as fast as the Nvidia Shield, but that mid-tier market, I think there's definitely a gap. So if somebody can make an official device, fully certified Netflix 4K, YouTube 4K, Prime Video 4K, which has the correct certifications, is around about $100, give or take, I think that will sell like hotcakes. Because unfortunately on the Android TV side, it's either you have the budget tier, which is like the on streaming boxes, or like the TiVo Stream, and then maybe the Chromecast 4K, that sort of segment. And then there's really nothing in between. And then you have the other side, which is obviously the very expensive Nvidia Shield Pro. So really something in the middle, I think would sell a lot. Okay, so hey Technic, nice to see you on here, man. Yeah, and the great thing with the Amazon devices is they do regularly, whether it's Black Friday or this Prime sales or Cyber Monday, Amazon devices, these Fire TVs, Fire TV sticks, they always go on sale. So if you can hold out, you'll definitely be able to pick up a bargain. All right, so here we have a question about being anonymous. So the question is, why pay for a VPN with a card if the whole point? I mean, a VPN has many benefits. It's not just I want to be completely anonymous. It could just be I don't want my ISP seeing what I'm doing, for example, or it could be I'm buying a VPN just so I can access geo-restricted content, or maybe I want to change my IP address. So there are lots of different reasons why somebody may want to buy a VPN. And to be fair, many of the top tier VPNs like IPVanish, like ExpressVPN, they do actually allow you to buy with cryptocurrency. So if you do want to keep it completely anonymous, you can buy with crypto. And Next Level Tech is the main man when it comes to crypto. So if you guys need any crypto advice, he's definitely the person to ask. I mean, there's also other ways around it. Like I think you can buy Amazon gift cards as well, I think, and buy your VPN like that. So there are the methods if you really want to take it that far. But for most people, it's just I need a VPN so I can change my virtual location. So like if I want to download torrents, for example, this way I can turn my VPN on, sorry, download whatever torrents I like. No one can stop me, and away I go. So this one, I do have one on my jailbreak videos. So in fact, let me see if I can paste that in here. So if you follow this guide, which will be in the chat shortly, this one will give you the code needed for the application. There you go. Okay, so yeah, I mean 50% off, that's an absolute steal. Jason is saying that the Wi-Fi 6 on the Fire TV Max is far slower than Wi-Fi 6 on Apple TV. I mean, the Apple TV is not a device that I've personally used myself, but typically looking at Apple devices, as you guys, I'm sure you know, they are very well made. They do use high quality components typically, so it may just be that the chipset in the Apple TV 4K is just of a high quality, so it has better antennae or better radios, and therefore can give you better speeds. I mean, out of interest, do any of you guys use the Apple TV? I know Superdell, he talks about regularly in his stream, but I'm not sure if many guys or many people in my audience use the Apple TV 4K. Hey Gwen, nice to see you on here. I'm not sure what that is. V6, is that a new speed that they're offering or something? Please do let me know. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously one of the biggest issues with the sticks, the Fire Sticks particularly, because as you guys know, with the Fire TV cubes, you do get 16 gigs of storage. The Fire Sticks only have 8 gig, and once you take away all of the system stuff, I think you're left with about 2 or 3. I mean, one benefit on the cube is not only do you get more storage, but also excuse me, but also you get the full-size USB port, so you can easily expand the storage. I mean, from Amazon's point of view, they don't want people installing third-party APKs. They don't want people installing K builds. All they care about is which official streaming application can they push to you or they want you to use. They can show you that sponsored content on the home screen, encouraging you to sign up to another official streaming application, and that's where they make their money. So advertisements and of course official streaming applications. They don't want to make it easy for you to install your own applications so you can then potentially watch content, you know, via other channels. So this one, because of the Tizen OS, I think it's very, very limited. I actually had a Samsung smartwatch which was also running Tizen. So they do have their own app store, but obviously it's never going to be as vast as the Android app store. So you probably can install third-party applications, but it's only going to be ones from the official Amazon App Store. Okay, so that's something for the Virgin Media users. So Sharon, I'll be interested to know your feedback on that. So in terms of like, I'm guessing you can't sideload on that device. So for a pure streaming device to access official applications must be very good. Unless you're going to tell me that you can sideload on there, but I'd be interested to know your feedback. Or if anybody else that has an Apple TV 4K. Okay, so we can see Jason has the Apple TV 4K as well as the Shield TV Pro, as well as the Fire TV Max and the Roku. So I always thought the Apple TV was very similar to the Roku 4K, whereby yes, it's a very well-made device. It only supports official applications, but what it does do very well is run those official applications. So yes, you can't sideload, but the stuff that you can do, the official applications, whether it's things like, you know, frame rate matching or HDR or wherever the features are, it does those things very well. But I'll be interested to hear your guys' feedback on those devices. Yeah, this is actually a great point. I mean, I was discussing or talking to somebody in one of my comments who was complaining that why am I constantly now making videos on Amazon updates? And you know, didn't I say that block Amazon updates and it's all about the Wolf launcher and we have to stop updates? But clearly he misunderstood. I mean, back in the day when I first created the update blocker, the one and only purpose of that blocker was if you want to keep using the home button as a custom launcher, do not update your device, use this update blocker. This will block the updates, and that way you can continue using a custom launcher. Now, the majority of people don't use a custom launcher. The majority of people do want to get the latest update. They want to see what new features are added, what Amazon are doing. So a very, very large portion of our audience is, you know, are people that don't use custom launchers. So for those people, they want to see the latest update. So I really think it's a bit silly for somebody to think that I'm only going to do videos on custom launchers, blocking updates, and never talk about Amazon updates. In fact, I'm sure somebody even said, how much are Amazon paying you? Like, Amazon have now hired me to be their spokesperson and discuss their latest update. Yeah, that's a bit silly, to be honest. Yeah, so like Next Level Tech is saying, the majority of people are not, you know, enthusiasts who are gonna be installing custom launchers or rooting their devices or blocking updates or running Plex servers. The majority of people are just going to be turning on the streaming device, choose a streaming application or a third-party application, watch some content, and then just go home. So yeah. Okay, so let's go back. So this one, so a mod, as you can imagine, just means a modification. So typically, if you make something ad-free, you are modifying the application. So whether you call it an ad-free version or a modded version, it essentially is the same thing. Oh, so this is very interesting. So there is actually a way of installing the K application via sideloading. Okay, maybe I need to invest in an Apple TV and see. Maybe I can get a different audience by creating videos on that. In fact, so do you guys know of other streaming type YouTubers who actually make videos on Apple TV. That'd be interesting to know. Okay, so this is something a little bit different. So I'm guessing there are official applications which allow you to run M3U playlists. So I guess if that's available, then you guys can run that. So I did purchase the TiVo Stream 4K, and it was a fairly competent device for about $50. It did have some issues where I think the HDR was always on. I think it did come with a full size or with the Type-C USB port, so in terms of expansion, you could easily add in a hub, add in some extra storage, add in full size, Ethernet. But I think as I bought the device when it first came out, there were lots of firmware bugs, just lots of bugs that you typically see on a new device that would have those initial teething issues. That's why I think it's still in my drawer, but I'll be interested to see if I power that on now, how many updates they've done. That's one of the things about buying official devices. Although I can't say too much about TiVo, we definitely know with the Amazon devices and even with the Chromecast, I guess, or Android TV devices, typically you do get updates. So if your device has bugs, if there's initial teething issues, once there's enough noise online, they will hopefully release an update addressing those issues. This is a name, I think, if all of a sudden tomorrow, if you see my channel renamed to Amazon Doctor UK, then you know that I've sold out and Amazon paid a lot of money. Yeah, this is what I was thinking, that it just sounds like a very, very capable device that you just turn on, use, always works, always responsive, never lags, never crashes. But in terms of like modding or side loading, be interesting to see what's available. Okay, so UREDS is using the Wolf Launcher on Shield Pro. In fact, chat, please do just leave one word comment if you guys are using custom, which means custom launcher, or stock, which means stock launcher. And also just tell me what device. So just say Fire Stick stock, or Shield custom, or TiVo custom, or TiVo stock. And let me know what your main device is and if you're using a custom launcher or stock. Yeah, rightly said, Next Level Tech. So yeah, mod can mean many things, either, removing adverts, changing logos, maybe removing, maybe like debloating it. So maybe if there's lots of extra languages added, which you may not need, you can make the application file much smaller by modding it and removing some of those extra modules, for example. Yeah, so I have heard that on brand new devices you can follow a process. I think it was yeah, if you set up with a hotspot, then that way you can break the connection temporarily, install your stuff, and then put it back on. So there are still ways of potentially blocking updates. Okie dokie. Alright, so questions are coming through thick and fast. Let me just scroll back up. So the TiVo Stream 4K is a standard Android TV device. So any application you can have on your Android TV devices from the Google Play Store, or any application you can find on your Amazon TV devices, you'll be able to install on the TiVo Stream 4K. Okay, so I wonder if that's because we have to sideload it in a certain way. Maybe that's why some of the features are missing. So lots of people using stock on Fire Stick, stock on Shield, Wolf on Fire Stick. Okay, so you can run an M3U playlist on the Roku devices, so very similar. Custom on Shield, on Cube and Chromecast. You have Cube on and 4K Max on Wolf. So the Betamax and the Amiga, I actually had an Amiga 500 plus from the old days. What an amazing device. Custom on the MeCool. Now, guys, I have to say, MeCool keep on pestering me, asking me to review their MeCool devices, and I just don't know if there really is such a market or for that. But maybe you guys can let me know. Are you Are you a fan of me cool devices? Would you recommend me cool devices? Is it worthwhile me? Because number of me, getting the device, spending time reviewing it where there's really no interest for it. So let me know if you think they do have some good devices. Hello there. Okay, so custom on the 4K Max and also on the Mi Cool KM2. Stock on the Cube. Yeah, so I mean, to be fair, in terms of customizations, you can actually do a lot more on the Android TV devices versus the Amazon devices. So if you are into customizations, whether it's using a custom launcher, or you'd like to, maybe change the wallpaper or change your home screen, you'll have a lot less headache or less stress using Android TV devices than the Amazon devices. Okay, so this one, I'm actually creating an update to my playlist. So if you guys are subscribed, you will see notifications soon where I can't create a video on it because my last video did actually get taken offline, and I just can't be bothered with the stress of making YouTube understand that these are publicly available channels and all that kind of stuff. So for now, I will just create community posts telling you that to get the latest update, which has the new playlist, go to my website and download it from there. Hi Kitty, nice to see you on here. Okay, so Next Level Tech, I will take his opinion. So he's saying that they have some wicked devices. Actually, somebody else, I don't know if they emailed me or did I see on somebody else's video. So are you guys familiar with the Yoka TV? And is that an Android TV device, I guess? And what makes it so special? Yeah, I mean, lots of comments on this, as you guys probably can imagine. But I mean, on one side, you could say I don't really spend time in the home screen. I turn my device on, open up Netflix or open up my streaming application, and I don't have to waste time. But then other people would say if I'm navigating through my home screen, I don't want to see big sponsored content or sponsored applications. I want to be able to customize what I see. So you can see there are definitely two sides of the argument. Yeah, so this I think Free Tech did a review on this. So yeah, so for your official streaming applications, I think it is a fairly capable device, and I think it is quite popular as well. Yeah, I mean, Shield is a very, very popular device. So typically, applications on the Shield, or really any powerful device, would just run so much, more smoother, so much better than your lower powered Fire Sticks. Actually, somebody else messaged me about this. I think there is a refresh rate application available. I was going to check that out. Okay, so using the Wolf Launcher on the KM6. I'm guessing that is the Mi Cool KM6. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how far Amazon will take it. I mean, just the amount of adverts really is just, it is, you can see this is where they're making their money. So the more things they can show you, what makes it particularly bad, and this is something where I think Android TV are actually better, apparently on those home screens, they will show you content from applications that you have installed. So if you have installed Disney Plus, then they'll show you that, oh, on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian or some other episode is now available. So that way, maybe you could see content that you didn't think of, but because you have the application, you can now click on that sponsored, link and watch that content. But on the Amazon devices, even if you don't subscribe to these services, these other applications, they still show you adverts for it. So that you can see is very, very frustrating. Yeah, I mean, on these other devices like Mi Calls, they really do ramp up the specs. So very easy to find 4 gigs RAM, 64 gig storage. Those kind of specifications. There's no stress on those kind of devices. So this one, do you mean on, or which application do you mean? Let's go. Okay, so let me go back to your questions. Yeah, so my non-tech sister loves Roku is great for me because, yeah, you know, maybe for certain people that they don't want to tinker, they don't want to like, you know, free up storage, or they don't want to, you know, clear the cache, or basically they just want to turn on the device, open the streaming application, the official streaming application, and just watch something. Then in that example, you can see why the official devices, or the, you know, the lockdown devices like the Roku are just very, very popular. Literally just plug and play, choose your application, and away you go. Now, talking about just quickly opening up your streaming app, one thing I always ask when I do these streams is about RD, about the Brid service. Now, for lots of you guys that don't use official applications, they use third-party applications, I'm still surprised that there are some people who don't use RD, or they've never heard of RD. And if that's you, then definitely do send me an email. I have free vouchers. I can get you 30 days trial off RD. You can try it with your favorite streaming application. You can try it with your favorite K application. And once you see the links, the sheer volume of links, the quality of those links, the high bitrate, high quality, you know, audio, Dolby Atmos, 7.1, all of the, you know, the audio standards, that stuff you'll never find on free servers, or you'll never find on these free applications. That you do need to have premium links, and I think for literally, I think $2 a month or something, you get that service. I think once you try it, you will never ever stream without it. And of course, if you didn't know, you didn't know. So I'm telling you guys, as the person that you subscribe to, I'm happy to give you guys 30 days free trial. Send me an email. I will definitely give you that voucher. You can try it out, and I'll be very surprised if you don't. Keep the subscription going, because it really is that good. And let's go back to the question. So, okay, so I wasn't sure about this. So if that's the case, then that is quite frustrating, because you can see the argument that you've installed these three applications like Netflix, like Disney Plus, like Hulu. So the fact that they're showing you recommendations from those applications, it's not, you know, it's not too bad. But if they're showing you recommendations from content or from services that you're not even subscribed to, then I think that's a bit disingenuous, or just a bit frustrating. Let me go back to the question list. It keeps on refreshing the screen. Yes, so Jason has been a customer for 10 years. So Jason, I mean, if you know other, because the thing about streaming is you know, your circle of friends typically streams with you, so it's very easy for you to, I think Rodabrid actually provide you an affiliate link. So if you do know people that don't use a service, just get them to sign up with your link, and you will also get, I think free 30 days or something. Because that's a good way that, and I think they get some benefit as well. So it's a good way for you to spread the word, but also get some free time on your account. Okay, so Gwen is asking about this Alienware Alpha device. I mean, I know Alienware make laptops and gaming PCs. I mean, yeah, I mean, if it runs Windows 8, then there's no reason really why it can't run Windows 10. I think that you can get a Windows 10 compatibility checker, so you can install that on your device, and it'll tell you if your device is suitable for Windows 10. And to be fair, the fact that you can do a free upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10, then if the device already runs Windows 8, then I'm 99% sure you can upgrade that to Windows 10 without too much bother. Yep, so okay, so AD I'm guessing is the all Debrid, which I've not used, so I'll be interested to see, because there's also Premierize, and obviously RD. So there are a couple of different players in the market, and I'm not really sure. I guess for me, because I tried RD first, So, and because I never had any issues finding the content I want to find, I've never really looked elsewhere. So I will be interested to see what the differences are with these other platforms, and see maybe do they offer more links, or maybe they specialize in TV shows or something else. So we'll be interested to see what that is. Uh, yeah, that's the other thing. So when you're using free servers, anytime you try and do forward or rewind, it just completely kills the stream, and you end up starting again. But with RD, because you have those faster servers, typically having more bandwidth, they easily can handle, or they have a lot better chance of handling the people accessing the content. So you can stream and go forwards and backwards without too much issue. And it is the dog's Holux. I can definitely confirm that. Yep, that's the other thing. So obviously, if you want high quality, like if you want 4K content or high resolution content, I mean, good luck trying to find that on the free stream. So again, if you want that kind of stuff, 4K, high bitrate, RD is the way to go. Yeah, so this one I actually tried recently. It was not something that I was using before, but I think I did a video on this channel because it was shut down. So it was one of those breaking news kind of videos. But I know now they've now created a re-cloud stream thing. So I actually tried it and I was very impressed. Just lots of links. And to be honest, I couldn't even see if there was a way to link it to RD. So do let me know if it is possible to do that. But even with the free service, it had a lot of good stuff on there. Okay, Richard, thank you for confirming that. So, in fact, there is actually a launcher manager for Android TV 1.04. So, I think I have done my website. If not, I will update that. But I mean, if what you have is working for you, then there's no desperate need to upgrade. Hey Jeff, nice to see you in here. Yeah, I mean, if you really don't like the Amazon ecosystem, if you're not using any of the other smart devices like the Echoes and the Dots and all that kind of stuff, then Android TV is a very good option. And as I mentioned before, in terms of customization, they do seem to be more open, or should we say, as time progresses, they don't really seem to be locking down the stuff. Whereas what we've seen with Amazon, they block stuff, they blocked updates, and they block custom launchers and all this kind of stuff. So there could even be a time where they block sideloading potentially, which I think will be obviously a massive mistake. But let's see. Okay, so this is a very interesting tip. So one of the benefits of using a VPN is that because you can access content from other parts of the world, you can also take advantage of pricing from different parts of the world. So typically Turkey or typically Brazil, you can sign up to different streaming services at a fraction of the price. So if you guys are interested in doing that, there was also something else that somebody mentioned, which was the subscription sharing service. I think it was called Gamsgo or something, or Gamesgo, and that basically means you can share your subscription. So instead of paying £12 for Netflix UHD, you could just pay £2 or £3 because you'll be sharing that account with somebody else, which probably is against the TOS, but people are doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, so thanks for that tip, Jason. So it is a great way you can buy stuff cheaper by having a different country's IP address. Yeah, so any Windows device, laptop, desktop, computer can run the K application. Probably about 15. Any reason, Nick, why that is in, I'm guessing you've experienced both of them, so I'll be interested to know why one person or somebody would prefer AD instead of RD. Okay, so it looks like we have more AD fans. Unless you guys are secret employees of AD and you're now coming here spreading the news that AD is the best and RD is finished. Okay, so thanks for confirming that. So yeah, I thought I didn't see that option. So yeah, but again, for a completely free application, I think it was actually very impressive. And the fact that it's open source, it doesn't have any adverts as well. So again, it is quite impressive that you can get that. Yeah, so it was games ago. Yeah, I think Upgrade Guy did do a video on it, and I think he did get hit, but I think he managed to restore his video. Yeah, it is a bit edgy because it is against the terms of service to share your account, whether that's YouTube Premium or it's Netflix, UHD, or Spotify or any of these other services. Typically, you can't share your account, and GamesGo actually provide a platform where you can share your account. So it is a bit funny, but they've been around for many, many years, and they're always looking for people, YouTubers, to promote their service. Yep, Pete Blue confirmed. It is the cheapest way, one of the cheapest ways to get, and people have been using it for years. Because sometimes, when there's like a method, I'll call it a workaround, shall we say, then once it gets popular, then Netflix quickly patch it, or whoever the service are, they quickly patch it. But this thing has been around for years. People have been taking advantage of subscribing to Netflix or some of these other services by just changing their IP address and then accessing that service and signing up at a much reduced price. Hey, Upgrade Guy, nice to see you in here, man. We have some celebrities in the house. We got Next Level Tech, we got Upgrade Guy, but of course, biggest thanks to my moderators. Really appreciate your support. Yeah, I think they try to contact me as well. Um, yeah, I think they've been doing the rounds. So Samuel, no problem. After this, I will, or tonight, actually it's already 10 o'clock UK time. I will send you a 30-day voucher so you can try that out. Okay, sorry, Upgrade Guy. It was actually together price. So yeah, very similar to GamesGo. Essentially, it's a platform where people can either buy a shared subscription or offer their shared subscription to other people, so you can then reduce the costs. Yeah, I heard about this as well. That I think literally it works out as, I think it's like $20 for the year, so super cheap, and you can then enjoy YouTube ad free. Sorry, UGT. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, but okay, UGT. Nice to see you on here anyway. Good night, Robert. Thanks for joining. I will be wrapping up in the next few minutes, guys, because this was only supposed to be a quick stream because I haven't made video on this channel for a while. I do apologize for that. I was going to come upstairs and record something, but I thought instead of pressing record, let me just press start streaming. Let me talk to you. Let me interact with you. See you guys, see how you guys are, share some updates. And this is what I want to do at least, once a week. And I do always promise to do it, but I don't know, it just never seems to happen. But please bear with me. I'm even thinking about exploring the shorts form content, that kind of stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen many short videos or what you guys think of that, but I thought maybe this channel could focus on live streams and also YouTube shorts. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you, UGT. Yeah, so clearly Jeff, I would say, is more of an advanced user that if you've installed Linux or Linux on your machine, you've modified it, you're running all sorts of stuff. So there's definitely a different market for that. But generally, my audience, I would say the majority are not as tech savvy. So, I mean, you probably wonder why I never made a video on routing the 4K Fire Stick, because that is possible. But in case you guys didn't know, that procedure requires you to open the Fire Stick and to short some pins. At least that's what it was, last year. So me creating a video on that, I think it will just be too much, and I'll end up people end up frying their fry sticks, and the first thing they'll do is come and blame me. So to minimize that, and it is for a very niche or niche audience. So for that, if anybody is interested in that, I always just say that go and check XDA forums. There's a great step-by-step guide. If you want to, you can then follow the instructions, root your device, and once you've rooted your device, you've now got a device you have complete control. You can change the launcher, you can delete files, you can delete updates, you can roll back stuff. You have complete control. You can install the Google Play Store. I mean, for somebody who's into that tinkering level stuff, then it really is a great option. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't know really what I can present in 1 minute. It could just be like, super quick Fire Stick tips. Like, even like jailbreaking in 1 minute, because I could explain it in 1 minute. Just, enable developer options, if you can see them, install downloader, type in this code, install Unlinked or one of the other stores, and away you go. So I could do that in 1 minute. But I'm just thinking how much other content I could make, which is 1 minute long, that you guys would find of benefit. Maybe like, basic tips and tricks, like, how can I reboot my Fire Stick using the remote control, or how can I reset my Fire Stick to the factory defaults by using, so tips like that I could do, but I'll have to see. I mean, one benefit of the YouTube Shorts is YouTube really do push it to, a massive audience. So typically, my videos, they will be shown on people's homepages who are interested in streaming or cord cutting, or have previously watched a video on Fire Sticks or Android TV devices. Whereas with Shorts, because it's people just swiping, you do have a lot greater chance of having a video or your short being seen by random people or other people. So it is also a great way for you to create your channel. Thanks for your time, man. Appreciate you joining. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this is the way it is. People do have less time. You could say less attention span. So literally within a couple of seconds, they want to swipe and go on to the next thing. It does love Shorts right now. So they really are. I mean, obviously they're trying to battle TikTok and the others. So this is why they're really investing a lot in it, and they're trying to copy features, and they're trying to make it more intuitive. They've added the Shorts fund now, so you can actually start earning money. I think they're going to introduce adverts. So when you're swiping through Shorts, I think after the second or third short, you may see an advert and stuff. So they definitely are investing in there. I just think with my kind of content, I think it's best suited for, actually, I suppose, even quick tutorials, I guess. Like, I don't know, how to boil an egg or something, or how to make something, or I was going to say maybe for, comedy sketches or that kind of stuff, it's pretty good, like 1 minute. But for tutorials, I mean, you can't really do an in-depth tutorial in 1 minute, but let's see. Hello, Frederick. Nice to see you in here. I appreciate that, Jeff. And let me just take this opportunity to say a massive thanks to all of you guys. I do appreciate your support. Don't think that I don't recognize the names in the chat, or I don't recognize the names in the comments. I absolutely do. It's just nice to know that, I do have a community of people that watch my videos, they join my live streams, they like my videos, they comment on my videos. Really, without you guys, my channel or my channels will be nothing. So I do really appreciate it. And this is one of the reasons why I like doing the live stream, because I can interact in, somewhat real time, and just, check on you guys and share ideas and talk about what's happening. And I really do enjoy it. So I really do appreciate your support. Yeah, I mean, I think some of them are even like 15 seconds long. If Apple Watch had a BBC iPlayer app in the UK, I don't think that's possible. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the weird thing with the Shorts is you can literally, I think by default, when you upload any video to YouTube, it default checks the box saying, can somebody else sample this content, which effectively means they are making a short from your video. So it is a bit strange they allow that, but at the same time, then they issue copyright strikes. So it is a bit of a strange place. Yeah, so I think now 10 past 10, just when Just G has joined. I do appreciate you joining, and I do apologize again. Sorry for the late notice. I'm trying to hopefully schedule these live streams better so you guys have more time, but I do enable the chat replay and also the live stream replay so you can go back and watch again. I do try my best to answer as many questions as I can. If there are other questions, then please do leave a comment in the live stream and I'll answer them in the next live stream, which will hopefully be next week. So please double check and make sure you are subscribed with all notifications so you know exactly when I go live. I appreciate that, Nick. We need to see you back. I don't know if you've started making videos again, but I know it's been a while since I saw a video. But let me just say thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time. I will hopefully be scheduling another live stream next week. If there are any other questions, please do leave a comment, and I will hopefully... Actually, I've just seen this question. I can't say bye now. So I know this was one of the most popular K builds. I don't know if you guys were using this, but this one 100% was one of the most popular builds. I think this one, and was it Xenon, or is that one and the same? But so the fact that they're leaving the scene, it's not the best time. But as you guys know, one thing goes down, 5 other things come back up. So yeah, just had to stop my outro and just say that. So last time, guys, really do appreciate your support. Your support really makes my channel, or my channels, what they are. Without your support, my channels are nothing. So all thanks is to you. Really appreciate your support. Really appreciate your time joining these streams, leaving those comments, liking my videos, and I will definitely catch up with you guys real soon. Thank you. Goodbye. Stay safe.